Day 30. Give yourself a golf clap. Give yourself a golf clap. All right, little red bar action. Little red bar. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Bro, who watches red bar right here? We love red bar. Okay, we love red bar. Love Jules. Love it all. Love it all. How you guys doing? Day 30. Way to go. Way to be here. When we started this, we didn't know how the hell this was gonna go, but it went, didn't it? It really, really went, and that's fantastic. That's awesome. Let's go, Jared. By the way, let's go. We got Jared coming back. He's gonna be back in this area for the holiday, so that's fantastic. He's gonna get a little recharge. Maybe we'll try to get a little conversation with him going. You know, world-class judo guy. Wow, that's a new standard for the Ray is Happy show right here. Here we go. All right. Welcome, day 30. How you doing? Are you excited? Today is the day to look back at your previous 30 days and say, I fucking did it. I did good. Can you tell yourself that? Can you tell yourself, I did good? All right, try that right now. I did good. Out loud. Say it out loud, people. All right? I did good. That's right. I did good. That's right. I got my cameraman over there just yelling at. Yeah. I guess they're their own character on the show now, I guess. It's all good. That's how we like to do around here. You know, we get everybody included. Ain't nobody denied, right? Everybody can have access and get included and have some fun. That's what it's all about. Now look over your stories. How'd they do? Are you excited about them? Just review it, man. Just go back and, you know, turn through your pages. That's why you got to keep it in a notebook, okay? You know, it's a testament to your success right there. 30 days right there, a testament to what you've accomplished, okay? So be excited about that, all right? Use that to bolster yourself to go forward and do other things. Like, I'm working on this Kitty City right here, okay? Working on the Kitty City. I already got the story written. I already told y'all I got tons of stories already written. You know, trying to juggle all these other balls and get them done so I can get my time to the story going, you know. I'm excited about that. And really proud. Now, are you stoked? Are you excited? You should be. You just completed a 30-day life-changing sequence. Okay? Be excited about that. You got that critical eye in the hole, you know, shoo him away. This was something substantial that happened, you know. It ain't time for him to be out beating you up, okay? Be excited about it, all right? And then be proud of yourself. Look at your schedule. Look what you did over the last 30 days. You put 30 minutes every day into something for you. Okay, that's incredible. That's incredible. That's where it all starts. You want to change your life? That's how you do it. Start putting those little nickels, pennies, and quarters of time into the jar. Before you know it, the jar's full. Time to go on vacation or party or do whatever you're going to do. You know what I'm saying? So, well, we had that contest, all right? We had 2 winners of that contest, and Unicorn Comics and Professor Grass. Okay, so that's fantastic. So what I kind of intended to do is a little bit something different, and I'll read a little excerpt out of each one of them. Okay, pretty cool. So they're really good. Now going forward, tomorrow we're gonna have day 0, and I'm gonna chit chat with you guys all about the little things and the whatnots of putting together to go out and draw or whatever. If you want to paint, I don't want you to be too hard on yourself. Okay, if you ain't never done this before, don't get all super ambitious and gonna go out and buy $500 or $600 worth of equipment. You know what I'm saying? Start off small, start off little. You know, get yourself a little sketchbook, get yourself a little clamp to clamp that sketchbook on top of something so that it can be held there while you're drawing and looking and drawing and looking. You know, Start off with the pen and ink or the pencil or something simple like that. You know, we're going to start simple. Now, if you've been doing it for a while, use this opportunity to do the watercolor. You know, get a little frisky. Get yourself your board out. You know, your clamps, your maybe a little easel. Got your little cup, your watercolors. You know, get after it. And if you're an old pro, go ahead and get them oils out. Get them oils out and let's go. Okay, I'm gonna do all of them. I'm gonna get my oils out because I love painting landscapes in oil. I'm gonna get the little watercolor out. I'm gonna try and get a couple of people on for an interview. Neil Whitehead that we talked about yesterday with those lines and wash book that he has, which I fucking absolutely love. Patti St. Vincent, I forgot to put her picture up yesterday, but I'll do it today. Try to get her on. She's a nice lady in her elder years, and she does beautiful landscapes in Colorado, and they're all like this big. Sometimes they're bigger, most of the time they're that big, and she paints her little cats. And they look great. I'll put a couple of them images up, okay? They look fantastic. And she's really an inspiration, and goes to show that, hey, you put your mind to it. If you're passionate about it, if you're excited about it, just go do it. Just go do it. It's going to happen. And that's what we're all about. And this channel is breaking down that wall of dread, of fear, of, being, static, being locked down. You know, we want to rise up and overcome those stupid voices that say you can't do it. And we want to go out there and do it. And because oftentimes the hardest part of starting a new process is just overcoming those initial thoughts and that initial emotional resistance. You know, oh, it'll take too long. Oh, I'll never figure it out. Oh, I don't have the time for it. You know, but if you just look at it like, oh, you're just going to go ahead and do 30 minutes a day. Well, then at the end of 4 or 5 months, you're a pro. And you're like, hey, I got this. I could do more. You know, your efficiency goes through the roof. You can do more. You can do more. Now it's quite possible maybe you're out at the shopping center getting some groceries or whatever, and you see a little scene happen. You go, oh, I'm going to get my notebook out and write that down. I just saw that. And you just did writing right there, right? And so it comes with you everywhere you go, and you take it everywhere you go, and you make it a part of your life, okay? Rather than you sitting there being spoon-fed slop by other people, you're starting to take control, starting to make your own slop. But soon it becomes, entertainment. It becomes real. It becomes real. Now, I've had a couple other people send me their stories, and they're like, I don't want to post it. I don't want to post it. It's too, whatever, too tender or whatever. And so I'm working with them on their stories. I'm reading their stories, giving them a couple notes, and giving it back to them. And I sent somebody, they wrote this story about their childhood, and I sent them, I said, you really need to watch the movie Pan's Labyrinth. I don't know if you guys have seen that movie. It's a great movie. And it runs a dual thread. It's a dual thread story, and it tells a story about reality, and it tells a story about fantasy, and they intertwine, and sometimes they blur. And that's a beautiful plot structure, a beautiful story construction right there. And so I'm working with them on that. But, that's what you want to do. You want to jump in your little airplane, and you want to zoom way out, and you want to see the basic mechanics of your story and then put it together, And don't start too complex. Start simple. Keep everything simple and use those simple building blocks, just like we did with, the sketchbook, just like we did with simple shapes. And then you use those simple shapes to make abstract shapes. You use those abstract shapes to make anatomical shapes. And then your final drawing. You do the same thing with writing. You start simple. You make a simple block. You build a couple simple blocks together. You get that humming right, the right kind of emotional transitions that you want. And then you keep expanding it out, okay? And then you move the pieces around and order them to get that, curve, that emotional curve that the reader experiences fine-tuned, how you want it. And it's really a balancing act, or, it's like juggling, or a lot of people say it's a dance. I remember my old art teacher, he said, painting oil is a dance. You destroy things, you put them back in, you're out, you're moving it all around. And it's a dance. It's like you're dancing drunk on a ship. It's just like all over the place, right? Until finally at the end you put it together. And you have to be comfortable though with being drunk on a ship, on an ocean, dancing, you know, moving all around. You got to be flexible. You got to learn to be flexible, not so static and rigid. Static and rigid makes you crack, you know, and break. You can't be that way. You got to be flexible, you know. So much of this online, you know, community or online culture is extremely brittle. You know, you say one wrong thing, they just throw everything in the kitchen sink at you. You're not my friend anymore. But I'm blocking you, you know. That's not the way that you want to be. They are, you know, engineering society to destroy relationships. We don't want to be that way. We want relationships. We want people that we disagree with. We want to bust balls and then still the next day come back and say, hey, you want to get some fish and chips? Yeah, let's go get some lunch. That's what you want. And that fosters a sense of safety, you know, in that relationship. You know, a sense of loyalty, a sense of, well, I'm free to be who I am. And that's what you want. And so today we're gonna talk to James later today. Bruvs Unite at 4 o'clock. Okay, it's a live. The third one, we're gonna chit chat with James about what's going on in England and what's going on with their social media over there, and how that culture is impacting the rest of the culture, because you know, they're coming down hard on those people over there. And it's a way of social engineering and brainwashing people, and that connects to a video that I'm thinking about that amazing Polly made called "Live Not by Lies," when she described the process of which, you know, a long time, years and years of pretending to behave a certain way actually changes how you think. And that's that alchemical process that I was talking to you guys about. And simply enough, the alchemical process is this: whatever you practice, you become. Okay? So if you have a dream that you want to be a fisherman, but all you ever do is read books about it and then go and you work your job as a bricklayer, you're never going to be a fisherman. You're always going to be a bricklayer because you're never practicing being a fisherman. You're going to have to do things, you know, to go and practice being a fisherman. I told you about my buddy who was going to go across country on the Winnebago, right? And he passed up getting a Winnebago so he could finish his job, you know, his construction job, right? Where he could have just taken the morning off and gotten the Winnebago and got the momentum going, you know, to go on that cross-country trip that he wanted to go on. But he didn't. He skipped it. And that closed the door to that opportunity. He made a choice because he was afraid. Really, that's what it boils down to. Oh, I can't do it. I can't leave this. I can't, you know, I got to stay within my schedule, and I got to stay within what's comfortable to me, you know. Branch out. Create a time in your schedule where you can branch out and try something uncomfortable. You know, hell, I mean, I'm trying to do all of this streaming, all this crazy stuff. I never in my fucking wildest dreams thought I'd be here talking to you guys on video. I never in my wildest dreams thought I'd be having a stream with James halfway across the world. You know, I never thought I'd be like trying to figure out this stream stuff, and I'm, you know, keep building more and more stuff into this stream stuff. I'm trying to build more, you know, interaction. You know, I tried to do it yesterday, but it just didn't work, so I had to, you know, kick that and go back to my old way, and then hopefully today it will work, but we'll see. I don't know. So I'm very uncomfortable when I'm doing that, because I have to then go live and present in front of a live audience, and, you know, make mistakes and be okay with it. Deliver a lower quality of product that I want to deliver, but I have to be okay with it, because I know that this time next month, I tell myself, this time next month, it'll all be together. Don't worry about it. These are stepping stones that are getting you to the product quality that you want on your live streams. You know, I'm not there yet, but I shouldn't expect to be there. You know, I have what, you know, 1 month, 2 months of experience doing this. You should look at yourself the same way. Demand a high standard, but at the same time, be realistic with the process to get there. You know what I mean? If you're not realistic, you're going to burn yourself out. And that's not good. You don't want to be like that. So be realistic. Pat yourself on the back. You just completed a 30-day challenge of writing. You know, that says a lot, that somebody can stick with something for 30 days. And if you've been along for the ride for these 4 months, that's, you know, 4 times 3. That's 120 days. It's 120 days that we've taken whole to our lives. Okay? And I think I told you guys all there was a watershed moment for me 4 months ago, and that's why I started doing these videos. And I said, hey, if I'm ever going to develop an audience to market my books, my artwork, if I'm ever going to be in the driver's seat of that, I have to develop it myself. Ain't nobody going to come by and say, oh, Ray, let's talk about this. You get this entire audience that I've built just for you. Never going to happen. Or if, like, conversely, if I'm at, a job, they're not going to come up to you and say, wow, you've done such a good job. I'm going to increase your pay, 30, 50%. Never going to happen. Nobody is going to give you anything. You have to take it yourself. And as you take it yourself, momentum will help other people come to you to help further that goal, and they'll help you. But nobody's going to give it to you. And I think a lot about that. It's like you're crashed on the side of a mountain on an airplane, and you got to hike your way out. Ain't nobody coming to save you. You got to hike your way out. But once you get out, you'll find help. You'll find other opportunities. You'll come across a hunter that just so happened to be out hunting elk that day, and then he'll throw you in the back of his 4x4 and ramble on down, I had that very same thing happen to me. I was in Costa Rica, and I was on a surf trip, and I got in a very bad car wreck in the middle of the jungle, and there just so happened to be an American just so happened to be there, and he had this big, huge Dodge Ram lifted Hemi truck, and I was laying there on the fucking concrete, on this highway with all this car wreck around me, and I was looking up at this big fucking truck that was lifted, and he was telling me, he was looking down, and he said, you better let me take all of your stuff right now, or else it will all be stolen. And I had like 6 surfboards in the car. I had all kinds of camera gear that I was shooting. I was, photographing the waves and the rides and all that stuff in the car. I had all my, surf rash guards and everything like that. And so I had a lot of money in there. Every surfboard is like, $600, $700. And then, the camera equipment, camera equipment ain't cheap, bro. I had several different lenses, big optical ones so I could zoom in or whatever. That ain't cheap. I had a lot of, at that time, a hard drive that I could, put all the data on. That wasn't cheap. And so I trusted him. I said, okay. So he wrote down his number on a little bag, a little white candy bag, and gave it to me. And I grabbed it, put it in my pocket. I had blood everywhere and all that kind of stuff. And then he took all my shit and left. Well, I went to the hospital, and then all kinds of things happened since then. I'll tell you guys all the story some other time. But long story short, that man showed up at my hospital 7 days later and dropped off all my stuff. He had driven 3 hours or 4 hours or whatever it was to come down to San Jose, down in Costa Rica, because he came from the other side of the country. Oh, it was probably longer than that. It could have been like 8 hours, I remember the ambulance ride took me 8 hours just to get to the hospital. So it was probably 8 hours. He drove that whole way and dropped it off for me. I don't even know his name to this day. Don't even know his name. Thank you. Whoever you are out there, if you ever see this, thank you. But I don't even know his name. So that's what I'm telling you. Those opportunities, the universe will conspire with you to help make your genuine desire come true. That's how it works. That's the magic of this realm. That's it right there in a nutshell. Boom. You got it. Tattoo it on your ass so you never forget it. The universe will conspire with you to make your genuine desire come true. All you got to do is align your life with genuine desire and excitement. That's all you got to do. Seems pretty easy, doesn't it? Well, once you know that that's the goal, can't you throw away all that other bullshit that you've been holding, like anchor-wise, to hold you down? Anyway, let's move on. What I wanted to get to real quick, what do we got? 18 minutes. I got to, hurry up because I got James on my ass telling me I got to hurry up and all that kind of stuff. Got to keep it short, But, all right, what I wanted to do is I wanted to read a snippet of each one of the winning entries, okay? And I thought Professor Grass's was really good. His is about 20 pages long, but I'm just going to read the first page. And again, if you want to read it, I hope you can go to the Discord. You join our Discord on the link below if you want to. and come and read them. And then next month we'll probably go ahead and have a different type of competition. You know, I like this idea of competition. I like this idea of prizes. I like this idea of incentivizing people to win. I like this idea of incentivizing people. You know why? The reason is because it's a surprise. The reason is because it's a delight. You know, it's a delight. Don't you remember, like back in the day, you would collect UPC codes from, you know, things that you bought, and you would send them off, and you would get a special, you know, toy from that manufacturer, or you collect all of these, you know, comic book coupons and send them off, and you get a special comic book, or you collect all the things from a cereal box and send them in, and you get a special toy. That's a delight. That's cool. What happened to that, you know? Not only that, but, you know, when the toy showed up, it was actually nice. You know, it was cool. And you were like, wow, this is cool. And they gave it to me. You know, that idea that the world can be like that needs to be revived. And so that's what I'm trying to do here. All right. All right, here we go. Can you see me? I'm going to look over here at my computer. Get my voice all good. Here we go. All right. All right, we got The Daily Caller by Professor Grass. All right, so John Daly. And we're back, folks. That's the voice of the man you hear is John Daly. To The Daily Caller, where you call in with the most interesting, strange, oddball, and outright weird occurrences, and I, Johnny, try to make sense of it all. His voice sounds like he's trying to sell you something, but you don't know what because he doesn't carry a briefcase. Pookie, fast, and most importantly, he draws in a crowd. Johnny. Today's Daily Caller is from New Jersey. Caller, how are you doing this fine day? Jericho. Oh, hello? Am I live? Am I live? The reverberations from his radio. Johnny. Hey, yeah, caller. I'm going to have to ask you to turn down your radio. Jericho. Oh, is that better, Mr. Daly? His voice cracking with nerves. Johnny. Perfectamundo. I almost said perfectamundo. Perfectamundo, my compadre. Now, what is your call about today? Jericho. Well, it all started when I downloaded that new artificial intelligence thing everybody has. Johnny. Oh, do you mean our sponsor, IntelliPro? Use promo code DAILY at checkout and get that sick 99% off for the first month. So fast, not too meant to be heard. Explosion sound effect with a overlaid 99% off, incredible, in a booming over-the-top voice. Then a chime followed by a jingle. Advancing the future of technologies today. Jericho. Yeah, that's the one. So I'm new to AI, and I tried to ask it if it could tell me a story. Johnny, listening intently. Go on, kid. This is gold. Jericho. So I asked it to tell me a story, and it went on to tell me about a man named Jeremy. He was a war hero, but had since come back from the war to start a family. Johnny. Okay, is that it, kid? No, Jericho. No, you see, my grandpa's name is Jeremy, and he also was a war hero. I think that the AI started to tell me about my grandfather, his life before he made my dad. Johnny. Heavy. So what did it tell you, kid? Jericho. First off, it told me that my grandmother was a whore. Johnny. Cut the commercial. An advertisement plays in the background as Johnny tells Jericho, hey, this is radio, pal. Keep the bad words to a minimum. Also, if the story doesn't start to get a little brighter for my audience, I'm going to drop you like a keg of rocks. Get me? Jericho composes himself. Jericho. The story said that Jeremy's wife left him, apparently cheating on him with the neighbor. Then he started a business where he's able to generate enough money to travel the world. After traveling the world, Jeremy said he wanted to know the secret of everything. So he got to work on an AGI system, Artificial General Intelligence. His system was the first one to go stable. Not like today, with all the different brands. Johnny. Ha ha ha. So, he got rid of the ball and chain and moved up in the world. Nice. That's a great take from an AI storyteller. Amazing products, am I right? Chime. Advancing the future of technologies today. Jericho. Yeah, products that ran the world, making things easier for everyone. Inflation gone with the federalized banks. Real one-on-one human interactions by the wayside. Johnny whispers, cut his mic. What are you trying to pull here, pal? Jericho, I'm sorry. I was unaware I had said anything wrong. Can I continue? Johnny, okay. Pop his mic again. Be sure he doesn't get crazy on my show again. As Johnny says again, the commercial ends and his confident smirk returns. Jericho, the story told me about how my grandfather single-handedly took over the world with his technology, taking over governments, automating government systems. He ruined our families and our mic cut out. Johnny, so you are my no good grandson from my fancy pants real estate doctor daughter. Johnny grimaces as he realizes the mic is still on and he is still alive. Ha! Folks, this story just turned into a family reunion. This is my grandson, Jericho. Jericho, as the founder of IntelliPro, I can assure you that we are a family company. We care about our fabulous country and all of its lovely citizens. The views of this caller are not the views of me or this company. I personally and publicly disavow. Johnny signals to his producer. I think we have unfortunately run out of time for today, people. Thank you for all the watching, folks. Live sign still on. Johnny stands up. What the hell was that? How the hell did he get through? What the hell do I pay you for? The producer responds, I do not get paid. You said I don't even need employees anymore. You said you don't even need employees anymore. I have an amazing machine that keeps everything nice and simple. I'm a program machine not capable of human thought or emotion. The caller had the correct credentials, so I let him through. Johnny, was it a mistake to end death for the rich but allow poor to die? Producer, your wellness creams, lotions, pills are the best, sir. You have saved many rich lives. IntelliPro has whatever you need. Recited like he was programmed to do it, because it was. Taking a hearty drink of whiskey from the decanter, Johnny exclaims, it isn't easy being the late night host for the world forever, but somebody has to do it. He sets his drink down. Another successful show. Maybe I'll try for one tomorrow, this time without the family drama. Pan outside to the world of cyber dystopian nightmare. Signs the letter in the streets and the skies saying, IntelliPro, advancing future technologies today. End of part 1. Hey, how about that? All right, Professor Grass bringing the heat. I loved it. And that's just the first page, okay? That's a nice fucking story. I could see that as a comic book right now today, all right? So good job, Professor Grass. If you guys want to read more about Professor Grass's story, come on over, jump into the Discord. Links below. It's a great story. A lot of twists and turns, okay? So now we're going to go to the next one. Unicorn Comics is the author of our next one. Okay, and The Psycho is the guide, okay? A voice begins whispering into Soma's ear just as he loses consciousness. I can't believe it. You're finally here. The voice feels familiar, but there is something a little bit off about this one. Who's finally where? The Soma asks as he begins to rub his burning eyes with eyelids so heavy he can barely open them. His head feels like someone had poured wet concrete into the cavity of his brain. You are. I've been waiting for you for a long time. A silhouette appears before the Soma and begins walking toward him, bending down to see Bending down to see eye to eye, the silhouette smiles, cups his hands around his ears of the Soma, and let out a giant laugh. Ha 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 ha! Oh man, you're seriously finally fucking here? Holy shit, man! I've been waiting for you to arrive for fucking years. I've almost given up hope. The Soma's eyes can finally stay open for longer than a couple of seconds as he tries to look around, but he can only see the silhouette in front of him. The silhouette's outlines block the bright white light long enough for the Soma to see there is something else around them. He is still too tired to comprehend anything and asks in a tired, confused stupor, who's been waiting for what? Where am I? Who are you? The silhouette begins to smile and gleefully answers, me? I've been waiting for you. I thought you were here years ago. Fuck, man, decades ago even. Haha, you've entered your fucking mind. Haha, you've entered your fucking mind, man. Congratulations. The silhouette begins to poke the Soma's temple area, and the Soma winces in pain from the concrete as it's getting tossed around in his head from all the poking. Out, concrete in the head. Damn. The silhouette continues. Who am I? You mean you don't know the situationally psychotic part of you. I'm the one that overrides the pragmatic part of the brain that's telling you an idea is stupid. However, deep down, I know that the idea will get you out of your comfort zone. Build some fucking lifelong memories, pending to survive the stupid shit you get into, and be fucking fun. Yeah, that's me. I'm the psycho, your guide to this adventure. How about that, huh? That's fantastic. So, you know, those two guys, that's the psycho is the guide. I got a feeling that the Unicorn Comics is going to make that in a comic book, because that sounds interesting too. Isn't it interesting? They're both futuristic type of sci-fi kind of stories. Both fantastic entries, both great winners, and I'm going to send both of you guys a prize. Okay, so if I don't have your address, please DM it to me, or a mailing address. It doesn't have to be your address. It could be a P.O. box, or it could be, hell, I've had people give me their work address, so I send them stuff to the work, or you know, their ex's address, or their mama's address, or whatever. You know, so that's pretty funny. So go ahead and you guys give me your address, and I'll send it to you, a prize. Fantastic work, fantastic. Both of those stories, excellent. They should both be developed further. Yeah, very good. So now, tomorrow is going to be day 0. Okay, people. So tomorrow I'm going to talk about the tools and the components that I have that I'm going to use for when we go out and paint outside. And what I'm going to talk about first is the first couple of days we're going to start off inside. Okay, easy, right? We're going to start off inside. Going to learn the ropes, learn the basics, right? I'm going to tell you guys when you go out and paint how to do it, how to not move your head around, how to figure out how to use simple shapes to establish your picture quickly, and then move on and build on top of it, right? I'm going to teach you how to build on top of it. It's going to be exciting. It's going to be a lot of fun. Why not join us? Come on, it's going to be awesome. Kick some ass. Be like these guys. Be winners, okay? Choose to be winners. Be like Jared. Choose to be a winner. Let's go, Jared. Hell yeah.